This is Frank Dill Jr. It's March 2025. This is a story of how the Dills came to Boyertown, Pennsylvania, where they lived for about 100 years, from 1920 to 2020, roughly. When the Dills first came to America, they settled along the Delaware in New Jersey, right after the Revolutionary War. Pennsylvania offered a reward of land if you joined a militia to deal with the Indian problems that had occurred during the Revolutionary War. Henry Dill signed up, and at the end of his enlistment, he received a plot of land on the opposite side of the Delaware River, near what's called Portland, Pennsylvania today. Although at the time it had no name, but it was quickly named Dills Ferry because he operated a ferry from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. They were there for just that first generation when the ferry was replaced by a bridge. So the Dill family moved to upper central Pennsylvania near Muncie and Montgomery, Pennsylvania. My grandfather, Alvin C. Dill, graduated from high school in Muncie and started a leather working factory, which failed, and he was looking for employment in his future career, and he was interested in leather work. So his father, who took a job as a traveling salesman, whose territory covered upper Pennsylvania down as far as Washington, D.C., and he traveled by train to various towns. And along the way, he was looking for a nice place for his son to set up his business. He called on the Fevers department store in Boyertown, Pennsylvania, to sell furniture. He had to stay overnight at the Central House along Main Street, Philadelphia Avenue. Overnight, he looked across the street and noticed there was a shoe repair store directly across the street. So since his father had been in that business and his son was looking to be in it, before he left in the morning, he walked over and spoke to the owner and said, "How's business?" And the owner told him it was very good, but he had stacks and stacks of shoes waiting to be repaired. He was an old-fashioned shoe repair man who did everything by stitching by hand, where my grandfather and his grandfather used a sewing machine, a heavy-duty sewing machine, so they did it much faster. So he asked the shoe repairman how long it takes to get a pair of shoes fixed, and he said 6 weeks. So he said, "Oh, that's really a long time. Right? There's a real opportunity here for a fast-working shoe repairman." So he went home and told his son, Alvin Dill, about the place, and Alvin Dill came and looked at it, and he set up shop in the 1920s, and he stayed there till he retired in about 1947. He had 3 sons who lived in Boyertown. The oldest one, Vernon Dill, passed away when he was a young man. The second son, Alvin Dill Sr., often referred to as Pickle Dill, lived here until he graduated from high school and joined the service. After the World War II and his time in service, he moved to Washington, D.C. and never returned to live in Boyertown. The youngest son, my father, Frank Dill Sr., joined the service in World War II. He spent 11 years away from Boyertown, but he returned in 1953 to 54. He then went into the sporting goods business with my grandfather on the other side of the family, Lawrence Sands, his father-in-law. He worked there the rest of his life. He had 2 children, Jenny Dill, my sister, and myself. Jenny Dill lived in Boyertown until she got married, when she moved just outside of the town. She married Fitzhugh Clark. Myself, Frank Dill Jr., had 2 children, Frank Dill III and Catherine Dill. Both lived in Boyertown throughout their high school career, but Catherine Dill, after college in Kutztown University, remained in Kutztown, still living there today. My son, Frank Dill III, after college, he remained in Massachusetts, so he was no longer living there in Boyertown. or Pennsylvania for that matter. Myself, I lived there till 2018 when I moved to Kutztown. So there are currently no Dills in our family living within Boyertown. Thank you.